The latest on a surge of coronavirus cases in the U.S.
A federal court delivers the Trump campaign another blow. I'm Natalie Brand with what a Pennsylvania judge said about the president's claims of election fraud.
We'll catch up with shoppers out and about on Black Friday.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Jasper County Health Department is reporting 4 more COVID-19 related deaths. This is KOAM News at 5. Now, the health department says the patients were all men, each in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. The 4 latest deaths brings the county's total to 75. And the nationwide death toll from COVID-19 has topped 263,000, and for the first time, U.S. hospitals are treating more than 90,000 coronavirus patients, the most ever. Millions of Americans celebrated in large groups yesterday despite warnings from health officials. Adriana Diaz is in Chicago, where busy hospitals are preparing to get even busier.
I was worried after Halloween. I'm far more worried after Thanksgiving.
Hospitals are bracing for a post-holiday influx of COVID patients. Dr. Meeta Shah works in the ER at Chicago's Rush University Medical Center.
We will not get a reprieve because then Christmas comes and then New Year comes. So if we're just stacking surge upon surge upon surge, I am significantly worried about that.
The lobby at Rush has been transformed into a COVID triage area to make room in case there's a surge of patients in the coming days. And though a projected 50 million Americans still traveled for the holiday this weekend, outside Los Angeles, this bumper-to-bumper traffic wasn't for holiday travel. It was to pick up a Thanksgiving meal from a food bank.
So many people just appreciate being here, being able to get out.
In Northwest Indiana, volunteers rallied to keep a local tradition alive, turning a massive Thanksgiving feast for 1,500 into a drive-through celebration.
God, we lift up these families who are mourning the loss of their loved ones because of COVID.
For others, the holiday was a time to reflect on a difficult year. Members of a church in hard-hit South Dakota set up hundreds of empty chairs outside the state capitol, one for every South Dakotan who succumbed to the virus. And for the Spano family in Connecticut, dinner was tough without their brother and son, Daniel Spano, who's in the picture frame. He died from COVID earlier this year. Thanksgiving was his favorite holiday.
We're going to video chat and, try to have some sense of normalcy, but no matter what we do, it's not going to be the same.
Back in Chicago, like so many frontline workers, Dr. Shaw spent her Thanksgiving in the ER.
You step out of your front door and you're sad that you're leaving your family on a holiday. But when you walk into these doors, this is your work family. And right now, my work family is hurting.
And here's why Dr. Shah and so many others are concerned. According to the city's public health commissioner, 1 Chicagoan is diagnosed with the virus every minute. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Chicago.
Pretty decent day outside. Not too shabby for the holiday. Doug Heddy joining us from home.
Yeah, pretty good, Chris. We had mostly sunny skies. Had a few clouds during the morning hours and then mostly sunny skies. A little bit cooler than what we did see on Thanksgiving, but still, it's turned out to be a pretty good day. The system that gave us a few sprinkles late last night and the clouds is out of here, so I think we'll see clear skies tonight and into tomorrow. Then that little wave out across parts of New Mexico, that will head toward us, and that's going to give us rain chances tomorrow night into Sunday. Ahead of it, we look okay. We're holding upper 40s to near 50 right now. We have these kind of brisk northerly winds at about 10 to 15, so it does make it feel just a little bit cooler. Through the evening hours, we'll drop back through the 40s. A cold night, near freezing for us tonight. Of course, we're going to look at those rain chances in the weekend here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, we'll catch you then. Well, today is the day after Thanksgiving, more commonly known as Black Friday, a day that folks hit the stores searching for deals. So we went out searching for those deals, and we caught up with some shoppers at Best Buy in Joplin to hear about the deals they've been finding.
It's a balancing act, it's tough sometimes because, you got to be safe, but you don't want these things to die out, because, just the way life is. You don't know what the future holds.
And Black Friday is diminished this year as online sales take the front seat. The National Retail Federation estimated that sales during this holiday season would grow by around 5% over last year. with much of that growth, as much as 30%, coming from online sales as the pandemic forces the need to limit crowd sizes. In Pittsburgh, the Meadowbrook Mall did still see shoppers, but many of them did both online and in-person shopping.
I've shopped for some of my things online, and then you can't avoid, being in contact with other people.
I think they're just out there trying to make money. And they're just trying to adapt, and I think everybody's just trying to adapt.
Tonight at 6, we'll hear why some shoppers also think the in-person experience is still important. Well, today kicks off this year's KOAM Toy Box campaign. For the 32nd year, we will take your donated toys and money and turn them into a Merry Christmas for area children. This year, we, like a lot of folks, are changing some things up. So if you do plan on dropping off toys at the station, you'll notice some changes to the way we're accepting them to maximize social distancing. Masks will also be required for those dropping off toys if you want to bring them inside. We'll also be making changes to our telethons with remote phone locations instead of having them inside our studio. Well, President Trump's legal team suffered another loss in court Friday, a day after the president repeated his unsubstantiated claims of widespread election fraud. His lawyers are vowing to take the case to the Supreme Court, even as the transition process is underway. CBS's Natalie Brand is at the White House.
President Trump took in a round of golf early Friday before heading off to Camp David. Speaking to reporters on Thanksgiving evening, the president again made baseless claims.
This election was a fraud. It was a rigged election.
Friday, a federal appeals court in Pennsylvania added to the Trump campaign's recent losses, rejecting a lawsuit there. Judge Stephanos Bibas, a President Trump appointee, wrote, "Charges require specific allegations and then proof. We have neither here." The president also said he'll travel to Georgia, rallying voters to back Republicans in 2 runoff elections in January. That will determine which party controls the U.S. Senate.
Maybe I'll go twice. It's very important that we win those races.
President Trump told reporters he will vacate the White House on January 20th if the Electoral College formalizes the victory of President-elect Joe Biden, which it's on track to do in mid-December.
From Delaware, the president-elect tweeted an acknowledgement to America's indigenous communities Friday, writing, "Let's commit to writing a new future together." The Biden spoke with healthcare workers on Thanksgiving and released a video on Twitter.
There's nothing we can't do if we do it together.
Despite the transition that's now underway, the Trump administration is trying to push forward with more regulatory rollbacks, making headway Friday to cut federal protections of migratory birds. The National Audubon Society is calling on the Biden-Harris administration to reinstate those rules if the change goes through. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now, all 50 states must certify their results before the Electoral College meets on December 14th. Challenges to vote results must be completed the week before. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the first 7 minutes of the KOAM News at 5. Still ahead, how the coronavirus is affecting the Salvation Army. And next in Health Watch.
I'm Nancy Chen with a new sleep disorder that affects children.
Some medical professionals disagree with Oklahoma's decision to allow COVID-positive nurses and staff to continue working as long as they aren't showing symptoms. The Oklahoma State Department of Health says it should only be allowed as a last resort. Officials with the Oklahoma Nurses Association say those workers should be home quarantining like everyone else who tests positive. OSDH says hospitals and nursing homes should instead recruit more staff, hire temporary staff, or transfer patients to other care centers with adequate staff. Well, sleep is critical for children's physical and mental health, but many kids just aren't getting enough. Now, a new sleep disorder has been identified that is affecting children. Nancy Chen tells us what parents should look out for.
9-year-old Emily Cavanis has always had a hard time getting a good night's sleep, according to her parents.
She'd be sideways in the bed, upside down in the bed, all over the bed.
She just always was restless when she was sleeping.
A sleep study did not uncover any sleep disorders, but they all knew something wasn't right.
Once I fell off my bed and I didn't know until I woke up.
She was more cranky, she couldn't focus. She was so tired.
Now the sleep problem Emily suffers from finally has a name. Restless sleep disorder. An international panel of sleep experts just added RSD as a new pediatric sleep disorder.
They are tossing and turning. They are repositioning all night. Daytime sleepiness, hyperactivity, some behavioral problems could be the first signs that the parents see.
Pediatric sleep specialist Dr. Lourdes Del Rosso from Seattle Children's Hospital led the panel. She's also leading research on how to treat RSD. Previous studies show a link between low iron levels in the brain and movement disorders in sleep.
We found out that indeed iron levels were low in this population. So for the last year and a half, we have been working on both oral iron supplementation and intravenous iron supplementation. And we have seen amazing results. A lot of parents have been really happy with the sleep of their children and the quality of life.
Emily was part of the research. She received an infusion of iron and took extra iron daily.
We noticed drastic differences in her sleep and her behavior afterwards. She noticed too.
Her iron levels are now steady, and her parents say she's well rested. Nancy Chen, CBS News.
Seattle children's researchers did a study at their sleep center and estimate about 7.7% of their pediatric patients suffer from restless sleep disorder. Well, Doug Heddy's up next with the forecast, and that's a look at our health news as well. A little later, how the coronavirus is impacting the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Friday for us today. A little bit cooler, than about 7 to 10 degrees cooler than what we did have on Thanksgiving, but still not that bad. Saturday looks great. We are going to get some rain in here tomorrow night into Sunday. Rain and snow chances next Wednesday, so we're going to be watching that. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. Most of us are sitting 49 to about 50. We made up to about 55, 56 degrees across the region. But of course, it's almost dark out, so the temperatures are going down. And we've had these kind of brisk northwest winds all day long at about 10 to 15. These are going to diminish a little bit later on tonight. Looks okay, looking off toward the east. This is from our station, and you can see the very light northerly winds with the flag blowing. Currently outside, 49 north winds, 5 to 10. Humidity is at 54%. Through the evening hours, we'll slide back through the 40s. 30s. It's going to be a cold night tonight. Most of us will bottom out right around 30 later on tonight. But we do have clear skies. Not too much going on here. The system that rolled through last night, we had some clouds. We even had a few random sprinkles late last night, is out of here. You can see most of the action is along the Gulf Coast. And then that little tiny mass across parts of New Mexico, that is our next storm system. You can see a little twist in the upper levels. This is going to scoot right on top of us tomorrow night into Sunday, and it is going to give us some clouds. It's going to give us some rain chances as well. Let's go through time. Tonight's fine. It's just cold. We drop back near 30 for an overnight low. We'll start the day sunny. Clouds will start to increase during the afternoon. I still think temperatures look pretty good, similar to what we had today. 30 in the morning, 49 by noon, high temp of 54. South winds 5 to 10. Clouds continue to increase tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. You can see some rain developing to our south. After midnight, we'll get some drizzle and then some light showers in here by Sunday morning. Most of the showers will be in our southern counties, but I do think majority of us will at least get drizzle even in our northern counties. These light showers continue to work through during the daytime hours on Sunday and then finally rotate out late Sunday. So Sunday is going to be kind of a gloomy day. You can see this whole system wrapping up across the eastern seaboard. So on the backside on Monday, we're pretty cool. We're not going to make it out of the 40s for highs. Then Tuesday looks okay, and then this next weird system drops in by Wednesday into Thursday. If we can get some moisture, which I do think we'll get some, we'll get a rain-snow mix Wednesday into Thursday morning. So we're going to watch that as we go through the next several days. As of right now, it doesn't look like a big system, but still something we want to keep our eyes on as it kind of rotates through, and then it should be out by Friday. So for us tonight, we drop back near 30. Let's go 54 tomorrow, 37 tomorrow night. Remember, rain starts to sneak in, and we're going to have on and off showers throughout the day on Sunday, high temp of 50. Cooler on Monday, back to 52 on Tuesday, and then rain, possibly some snow chances on Wednesday and Thursday. You can see, Chris, as we go through time, over the past couple weeks, our high temps keep trending downward as it is almost winter time.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's almost wintertime, and I know you love the snow, so even if we get just a little bit, I'm sure you're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 3 months.
I'm not. We've already had that discussion, but hey, I'll take some snow. Why not? All right, Doug, thank you so much. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Sergeant Gerald Spoon, the Fredonia, Kansas native, served in the Marines during the Korean War, and we are proud to recognize Sergeant Gerald Spoon, tonight's four-state hero. Of course, to learn more about other heroes or to submit one of your own at any time, all you have to do is go to our website at koamnewsnow.com. Well, for more than a century, the Salvation Army's iconic red kettles during the holiday season have helped families in need year-round. Well, now the annual bell ringing campaign is facing new challenges with the coronavirus pandemic. Elise Preston explains how the organization is updating its fundraising to help millions of Americans.
A sound of holiday cheer and normalcy in a year that is anything but.
It's such a difficult year for so many people. What do you tell people to give them hope?
The message that I would want everyone in need to know this year is that they are loved and they are cared for.
This year, the Salvation Army is helping care for millions more. Commissioner Kenneth Hodder says need for their services has jumped 155% nationwide. That includes the Nunez family in New York.
It's very tough.
Sarah Gonzalez Nunez contracted the coronavirus in the spring and later lost her job.
I could barely breathe, where I had so much medication. You can't say good morning except through a door, and it's sad.
The family of longtime volunteers is now leaning on the Salvation Army for support as the organization faces a challenging holiday season for its Red Kettle campaign.
There are fewer locations for the kettle because there's less foot traffic, the coin shortage, some of the local shutdowns as a result of the pandemic will all combine to reduce the amount that we receive from the Red Kettle by about $60 million across the country.
This year, the Salvation Army is making it easier on donors with Kettle Pay. You can either tap your phone or scan the QR code to make a digital donation.
Kettles are rolling out everywhere this week. Some cities started weeks ago, and they still accept cash and coins.
A penny to $100 goes a long way.
Generosity this family has experienced firsthand. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
The Nunez family plans to resume their volunteer activities once the threat of the coronavirus has passed. We've got a final check of your forecast next. The CBS Evening News is just ahead. Then on the KOAM News at 6, today is every retailer's favorite day, Black Friday. But the coronavirus has forced a number of changes. We'll tell you if those changes are here for good. Plus, it's time for our annual Toy Box campaign. We'll tell you what changes you can expect to see there. And we've got some tips to keep yourself, your family, and your home safe from fire this holiday season. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and the KOAM News at 6. Well, a Frankfurt, Germany confectioner has found a way to sweeten what otherwise looks like a gloomy Advent in Germany. His masked chocolate Santas are selling like hotcakes. Confectioner Jesco Mann decided to put white chocolate face masks on his Santas after his masked Easter bunnies were a big hit in the spring. The COVID-conscious Father Christmases are bringing some light-hearted cheer after Germany announced this week it was extending a second partial lockdown. Turning back to weather, Doug, I'm going to go lock myself down once these temperatures drop below freezing.
Yeah, and we are actually going to have a cold night for us tonight. We'll drop back to about 30 degrees for an overnight low. Saturday looks pretty good. We're going to have mostly sunny skies through the morning hours. We're going to warm up into the mid-50s, and then we're going to start to get the clouds increasing tomorrow evening. We're going to get some showers in here late tomorrow night, and then just kind of on and off rain throughout the daytime hours on Sunday, and then we cool back down a bit on Monday. So Saturday, the better of the 2 days.
I'm looking forward to Saturday. Doug, thank you so much, and thank you so much for joining us. Our next news time is 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.